Hi, welcome to Table Talk with Tamisa. I am your host, Tamisa Hunter. Today, we have something amazing for you guys that is going to hit everybody's household. We're going to be talking about finances. Now, who don't want to talk about finances? I know I do. I need to because, baby, I need a budget. But first off, as you know, what we do here at Table Talk with Tamisa is we affirm everything, and we believe in affirmations. So the affirmations for this week is, 1, you are blessed, and you should say, I am blessed. So I am blessed, I am loved, and I am a daughter of the King. So you make sure you write those 3 affirmations and you stay right there. We'll be right back with our guest. Hey, welcome back to Table Talk with Tamisa. I am your host, Tamisa. I am sitting here with our guest. Her name is Adina Collins. She is a money financial coach, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story. Hi, Adina. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for having me,
doing
Tamisa.
Today?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. Can you start out by telling me a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I help business owners and also individuals take charge of their finances. Sometimes when they meet me, they're not quite sure what to do. Sometimes they may feel a little bit of guilt or shame because of different situations they may have been in, whether it's within their own business starting off or just in their personal lives. And so.
Ooh, you sound like that was about me. When you said don't know where to go. So what do you do exactly? Like when someone comes to you that might be having financial issues, like just always constantly living paycheck to paycheck. Go a little bit deeper, like your process. Like what do you do when they contact you, and just kind of tell me a story of someone, one of your clients or someone that you possibly helped before.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I love to do is I love to be able to sit and listen to their story, see where they are, why they may feel like they may be in a certain predicament. Sometimes it's not always the severity that they think that it may be. Sometimes they may have comparison issues, if you will. I feel like I need to measure up maybe to my siblings, or maybe I felt like I should have been a little bit further along than what I am right now. And so when I end up meeting different clients, I normally like to go ahead and just sit and listen to them, hear their story, see what their goals may be. Because if it's just about buying a car or buying a house, that's something that can definitely come in time. But in the long term, are you looking to be able to create generational wealth for your kids or your grandkids? Are you looking to be able to grow a business from a startup into something that may cross state borders or may even become a national or international type of company? And so sometimes they're not quite sure where to go, what to do, and really how to be able to tell their story through money, through to have a financial story.
Ooh, I'm so glad you're here today because I definitely need to be talking to you. So tell me this. So like when someone come to you, tell me like one of the stories of one of your previous clients that they just came to you like, Adina, I don't know what to do. I'm just struggling. I'm underwater. All these NSF charges. Give me something like that because I want to know if I'm not the only one that's went through that.
I'm sure you're definitely not alone. One of the stories that I can definitely share with you is that I ended up meeting a newer business owner. He was in business for about 2 years. His name's John. And John was the creator of a small IT company. Okay. And so when we met, we actually met out and about at a networking event.
Just out and about.
Just out and about. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times I end up finding a lot of my clients through networking events. And so he had a great idea in reference to where he was trying to go with his product. He definitely wanted to be able to serve people way before COVID happened in kind of a virtual environment, which was great. Right. But he just wasn't sure what he could do to be able to start bringing in other types of income. What could he do to be able to make his business stronger? He, again, was really just by himself. So he did not have a staff yet. Okay. But again, he had very, very solid concept. It was going to be something that was definitely going to work, but he didn't have a business plan. He didn't know which way to be able to go in reference to what he could do to be able to increase his sales, to be able to become more profitable. And so he was like, hey, listen, all I know is that I just need some accounting type of expertise. And I do have a background in accounting. I said, but it sounds like you really need a little bit more because it doesn't sound like you really have a financial strategy.
Gotcha.
And so we began to go ahead and start conversing with one another. And he needed help with not only being able to build a financial plan, but also taxes. What could he do as a new business owner? How could he begin to start doing some things with his taxes? What could he do going forward?
Ooh, wow, this is just hitting so home with me. So let me touch back on the business plan, like, because a lot of owners first starters, they don't have a business plan. They just say they have this bright idea like, hey, I want to start XYZ. So what do they need to do to what is like the first step that they need to do to kind of get out there if they don't have a financial coach such as yourself?
I would definitely say, one, be able to really clearly articulate who you are. Yeah. Who do you serve? What is your industry? Do you know of any other types of partners? Even if you don't know them right now, who can actually help you to be able to better serve who you're trying to reach? Right. And so sometimes people feel like, you know what, I'm in this vacuum. It has to be all me. It's all on me. And so when I come in, I'm kind of a neutral third party. I'm not your family. I'm not your friend. However, I can be an advocate for you and be able to kind of push you a little bit and say, you know what, if you don't have anything written down, let's at least start here. Okay. Do you know who you want to serve? Do you know where you want to go in the next 1 to 5 years? And I kind of help them to be able to, again, develop and write that financial story.
That's the accountability partner. That's that part there. So I know they feel like, I'm going to have to tell Miss Anita all of my business. Do they hold back and you have to kind of like pull and jug and say, hey, I need this in order to get you here? You have to be upfront and honest so we'll be able to get you where you want to be. Do you have clients like that? I
do, because a lot of people feel sometimes money shame, if you will. They may have money guilt. They may know that they're deep in debt, or maybe they feel like, again, compared to other people that they're hoping to be able to compete in the same market, or, just other, you think about some of the Instagram stories, or you think about some of the other widely known stories. Well, I'm trying to be this person, but you're not there yet. You just started, and that's okay. And so what I normally do is I normally just sit with them and tell them, hey, listen, one of the best analogies that I've ever heard is, how do you eat an elephant? And that's one bite at a time. And so you have to be able to say, hey, this is where I am right now. I do have vision for where I want to go, but we have to be able to start off small and just to be honest. And so in the coaching space that I provide really a safe space. It's a confidential space. And so they don't have to worry about me going and telling, if you will, all of their financial business. Again, where we are, I start with you where you are. We start to go ahead and look at some other types of opportunities that may be there, and we get to grow together.
That makes a lot of sense, because that accountability part, I think, is like the first step, in my opinion. But then you go to the different types of steps of trying to establish that foundation in regards to, let's get on this trail to get you where you want to be, with your business. So how long have you been in business?
I've actually been in business for the last 4 years. And I've also had kind of a 20 plus year financial and accounting background. So I've had the opportunity to be able to work in government, also to be able to work with nonprofits and a few smaller corporate clients.
So what gave you like that, let me start my own coaching business where I can help coach business owners to be able to see their vision come to life?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I really felt like I needed to be able to do was to be able to branch out on my own. Again, I had spent about 20 years working for other people, helping them to be able to realize their visions and to be able to make sure that
we most have.
Yes. And to make sure that their budgets, their accounting, their financial operations were working well. And I said, well, you know what? If I can make that work for other organizations, certainly I can take the knowledge that I've gained and continue to keep learning and be able to help smaller business owners, because I'm also a smaller business owner. And so, Tamisa, when I would go out to these networking events, I would find people who were looking for specific types of help, but they just always weren't very clear about
yeah, that
what
makes
they were
sense.
going to need going
Yeah.
forward. And so I said, well, you know what? In addition to accounting services that I offered at the time, I said, well, you know what? Why don't I help you to be able to educate yourself? And so I'm all about financial empowerment. What can you do to be able to, one, learn about what's out there, but then also, two, what can you do to be able to position yourself to become more financially empowered? And so that as I began to go ahead and start talking to people, they were like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about that. And so for me, the great joy is to be able to see that light bulb come on and for them to be able to say, you know what, I'll listen to you, I'll trust you, and I'll go ahead and make a tweak and let's see what happens.
You definitely got my attention because when I knew you was kind of was like, this is a subject matter that I really need to talk to. Because, you know, like a lot of people don't understand how important it is to have that strong foundation, especially in finances with their companies in order to get them where they know. I mean, you know, some business owners just come and just go because they have the ideal and they have all these different breaks and cracks in their foundation to where it always shakes up. But hold that thought because we're going to come back and I want to talk to you about like the steps that you take to help someone get to that next level. So you guys, thank you for watching us at this particular time, listening to Miss Adina Collins in regards to her business that she does. She does a phenomenal job. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Come experience luxurious one-of-a-kind services at one of Arlington's premier beauty salons. Services include eyelash enhancements, a full array of customized skincare, and body contouring. Come enjoy your slice of heaven at Angelic Touch Beauty Bar and Salon.
Welcome back to Table Talk with Tamisa. I'm sitting here with my guest, Anita Collins. She is a money financial coach, and we're going to just jump right back into our discussion regarding how to manage our funds. So we talked about you have to have a business plan. We talked about having a strategy. We talked about how to kind of make sure the vision is there for you know where you're going. And so you talked about John. So tell us a little bit about how you helped John and what was the outcome of him coming to you for an assistance.
Sure. Well, John didn't have, of course, being a newer business owner, he did not have an accounting system in place. So I helped him to make sure that his financial records, of course, were tied to his bank account, which was very, very easy. And we could be able to see at any point in time what he was bringing in, what his expenses were. So he definitely needed that to be able to see. Also, I made sure that John was aware throughout the year of different types of tax credits and tax deductions that he could take advantage of. Yes. Because of course, as a business owner, you tend to get more tax breaks than just traditional 9-to-5 employees. So he was definitely made aware of that. Also, John knew because he had a really great IT idea with his company, he wanted to be able to eventually get investors to be able to work with him. So we made sure to go ahead and work and revise his business plan. He had great wording. He knew where he was going. He had a wonderful market plan in reference to who he was trying to reach. But what he was missing were financial projections.
That part.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Because it's great now. He's got a great picture. Of course, he's got his accounting system. He knows what's coming in, what's going out. But if you were going to work with an investor, they want to know, well, hey, over the next 1 to 5 years, how do you expect your company to perform? And if you can't not only just share as we're verbally sharing, but you can't spell it out actually on a page, they want to be able to see, hey, how much is your business going to grow? Are you going to add employees? You know, are you going to be able to do other types of reinvesting into your company? Are you going to do research and development to be able to help you to be able to gain maybe more market share, maybe develop more products? Then I was able to go ahead and help him to be able to take a very realistic and conservative look at maybe the first 1 to 2 years. And I said, well, hey, if you end up getting this investment funding, then of course your projections are going to change over time. And so as a result of him being able to make sure that he had a stronger financial plan, he had very solid, of course, financial statements. He also made sure that he had good history in reference to his finances. Of course, he already had a business bank account and whatnot. Then he was able to go ahead and position himself to be able to start getting rounds of seed money for his company.
Yeah.
And so that was very helpful to him because he didn't have to necessarily go to a traditional bank. He could go ahead and work with investors that believed in the product and the service that he was providing. And they were happy to be able to go ahead and work with him, and which has been helping him to be able to grow and to be able to take advantage of different market right now because of COVID and everything. It was a perfect time for him to be able to actually work with me and be able to gain some funding. So
Okay, so let me take you back real quick. So, because you said accounting system, like, refer accounting system that would be easy to use for a startup person such as John.
Absolutely. Well, John ended up using something very, very easy, QuickBooks Online.
I heard about them.
Yes.
I heard about they have like a small monthly fee or something.
They do.
Okay, but
They
you
do.
can write that off though, right?
Absolutely. It's
You can write that
100%
off.
tax deductible. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And what's great about it is that you can keep multiple years worth of information. You can be able to add your customers' information in there. So it's not like you're having to start over year to year. And the other great thing is that you can know how your company is performing financially at any time because you can just click on run a report, or you can automatically have reports to be able to run once a week or once a month, whatever it may be.
But that's something that you will be able to show someone like myself.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
I got it.
So very user friendly.
Okay, so then you talked about financials.
Yes.
Now this is something I'm gonna put it out there and be transparent. When it comes to that, I'm lost. And although I tried different things, I just have not found the right system for me and my company and what I'm doing. So I can't in 5 years, I'm gonna do this. So how would you, I guess I'm not gonna say how would you, I guess my main thing is when he didn't have any financials, what steps that you take to say, okay, John, we're going to do this to get to this and then do this? I mean, what's that process looks like?
Normally, we will sit down and have probably a 1 to 2 hour meeting.
Ooh.
And I'll say, well, hey, listen, this is what we're planning to do. He's going to let me know because I'm not sure which direction he may be going, and say, well, hey, listen, we do want to develop a brand new product or a service. And I'll say, well, hey, about how much does that cost? Mm-hmm. Okay, do you expect these costs to be able to remain about the same, or do you think they'll go up a certain percentage, if you will, each year? And so normally I'll go ahead and kind of take some averages. I'll say, well, maybe, something may cost an extra 5 to 10% each year. And so we'll start going ahead and kind of projecting some things out. Maybe you may decide that you're going to be a bigger business and you may need to lease some space. Okay, well, we need to be able to say, hey, in your particular area where you live, how much does an average lease cost per month? And so we can go ahead and build that in maybe for the next 3 to 5 years if you think you're going to do that. Maybe you may say, hey, I want to go ahead and add on maybe part-time or full-time employees. I can be able to go ahead and help you to do some research in reference to what's the average cost, whether it's hourly or by salary, and so we can begin to go ahead and start looking at some different changes. Do you plan to give them any raises? Do you plan to be able to travel? To be able to do conferences and things like that. And so just really kind of taking a very practical, kind of getting really, really deep into the weeds, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you recommend, I hear people say all the time that it's better to bring people on as contractors. Because you talked about employees, but I know every shoe doesn't fit every company. So you also kind of help them say, okay, well, I suggest you start out with contractors now, which is what, 1099,
yes.
I believe. Okay.
Yes.
And then our regular employees, I think. Okay. So that's a discussion that you take as well.
Absolutely. And so I can also work with, and one other thing that I also always recommend that small business owners may want to do is also get with a business attorney, because I can work very well with them as well. Business attorneys like me will try their best to be able to keep you out of hot water.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
out of hot water. Do you hear Miss Anita? She said out of hot water.
So sometimes, we're just kind of going about, we're trying to build, and we don't realize that there may be some other repercussions, right, to some of the decisions that we make. So business attorneys can definitely help, of course, in making sure that you're staying in compliance, making sure that you're not doing anything that, again, may cost you in the long run.
We do not want that
Yes.
at all, Miss Anita, because I showed them anybody come knocking on my door and say, Miss Tamisa, you with Table Talk with Tamisa, where are you? We don't need that. So I'm so glad that you are here. So tell me, what was the ending part of, what was the outcome for Mr. John? How long did he work with you? Or is he still working with you?
He's still a current client.
Really?
Yes. So he's actually one of my older clients, if you will. And so we've been working together now over the last 3 years. He's been able to go ahead and successfully get 2 smaller investors to be able to work with this company.
Go, John. Go, John.
He's also been able to go ahead and create a team, some independent contractors, some part-time employees. And so he has a team of about 5 people now and is beginning to go ahead and start working with multiple ISDs here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Also starting to do some work also with colleges and universities. So it's been a great run to be able to watch him to be able to grow over time.
And I'm over here sweating I should have found you 7, 10, 12 years ago. So when cases, situations like John, not everyone needs investors, right? So with that being said, what do you recommend for people that just want to be, to come in without investors, but a business that's that doesn't consist of investors?
Oh, that's no problem. I try to go ahead and get people to start opening their eyes to other opportunities that are available in the community. What a lot of people don't realize is that the federal government is actually one of the largest purchasers of goods and services.
You know what? I just heard that the other day. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And so a lot of times they don't know, hey, even as a small business owner, I can start doing business if I want to with the federal government, with local and state government, with other organizations. And so sometimes, again, we feel like we're kind of in our own little bubble. We only know what we know, right? Yeah. And so I start to get you to think about, hey, what type of creative partnerships can you create which may increase your income? And so, hey, you may find other partnerships with nonprofits. You may find other partnerships, again, with other, even larger companies because they want to be a good corporate citizen and start working with smaller businesses in the community. And so, again, it's about making sure that you understand who you serve and how you may be able to mutually benefit one another. And yes.
Okay. So I know your business is called Fortitude
Financial Consulting.
Yes. I'm going to have to make sure that we connect because I'm telling you, I need it. I'm not joking. I'm for real. I so need it. So, so tell me, tell the people, tell our audience how they can reach you and make appointments and come get your assistance.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. My website is fortitudefinc.com. You can also reach out to me through Linktree. And so that'll just be Fortitude FINC. And it'll give you the link to my calendar as well as to different social media links as well. And I'm also on LinkedIn as well under Adina Collins, MBA. So.
All right. Well, Miss Adina Collins, thank you for being with me today.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. You guys, this has been so awesome. If you need any financial assistance, please reach out to Miss Adina Collins. But you stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the table. You are here with Tamisa at Table Talk with Tamisa. Okay, you guys, I first have to say thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for hanging in there with myself and Adina Collins, my guest. And make sure you go out and follow her because she is a money financial coach. And make sure you go out and follow her on all social media, Adina Collins. And then don't forget to stay tuned for us and make sure you go follow us on all social media at Table Talk with Tamisa. Or you can just go to my website, which is TamisaHunter.com, and just kind of play around off in there. Send me an inquiry. If you need a prayer request, send us a prayer request. If you just want to contact and have an idea for the show, send us that too. We are very friendly, but either way it go, I would like to connect with you guys. So make sure you follow, make sure you share, you like, you follow, you post, and do whatever you need to do. And I would greatly appreciate. But until next time, thank you for being at the table.
People, an open space for women to come together. And people, you will make it through the stormy weather. Don't apologize for doing what's right. Have no fear, your healing is near. People, you have a purpose. Just be bold, you are worth it. Surrender, my sister. Surrender, my sister. Table talk with Tamisa.